OBS, start streaming. Stream key is wrong. Oh, this is bad. Okay. It says the stream key is wrong. It won't let me access the thing that says what the stream key is, though. Slightly panicking. This is bad. Oh. Stream, new stream key, paste, apply. Okay, start streaming. There we go.
I linked the Discord invite.
All right, welcome everybody to the stream. Sorry that took us a minute to get that, or it took me a minute to get all that set up. Let's see. Get all of our audio correct.
Audio check. Hello, stream. Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. Yeah, if either one of us is a little too loud, just let us know and I can balance that super quick. Okay. So, let me go ahead and pin this. Pin message. All right. Good morning, Cherry. That's funny. It is in fact morning in Australia. Only other builds amazing, but the hype trailer is dope. Thank you.
Let's go.
Hopefully, next stream, the hype trailer will start a little bit quicker. Sorry about that. We're playing this mod already. I know. Honestly, we're pretty excited too. But we've got a few more weeks, and that's what we want to talk to you guys about today. So we've basically been working hard, just like straight for a week. And we've gotten a lot done. So we've got a bunch of different things we want to show you on this stream, and we're just going to fill you in on where we're at, what our plans are for the next few weeks. We were hoping to be done in January, but it looks like we're probably going to be done early February, first week, second week. I'm not really sure. We're not really sure, but we will see. We've got a few more videos coming out. We've got puzzles coming out before then, though. So we've got all sorts of stuff, you know, in between and right up when it comes out. But first thing here, we've got a nice little city guard. I didn't even realize you put these in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we have been working with some NPCs for the world, which is something that we definitely didn't include in the first video, so it's kind of exciting to show you guys that. In fact, you will be starting right here at World Spawn in the Meadows. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I totally forgot to start the Spotify. Let me know if this music's too loud. I like to have a little bit of quiet music in the background with the stream, so yeah, let me know if it's too loud, and I will turn it down. Let me just turn it down just a little bit. That should be just about perfect. All right, so you start off here in the Meadows, and speaking of NPCs, I wanted to take you guys up here first. You're gonna come over here into the tavern, where upstairs we've got beds for up to a party of 10. So you'll get set up there, set up with some basic items. And then as you come in here, you can see some NPCs that we have ready for you guys. So you've got Dakar over here and ninebyte over here. And as you can see on the runestone here, it says ninebyte speaks to you. So the cool thing about this is that another thing we haven't told you guys yet, because we just figured out that we could actually do it, is we are actually going to have somewhat of a quest system in this world, and that's completely without mods, no mods needed. On the free linear version, we will actually have some NPCs, we will have some quests. They're limited, but we're going to be able to do some pretty cool stuff. So when you start off, you'll come up here to the tavern, you'll have ninebyte standing here. You know, it might not be ninebyte Dakar, it might be something like Thor and Odin, who knows, but then you'll be able to read a runestone here. And what these runestones are going to do, you see on the top left, it said ninebyte added to the compendium, and then you've got a nice little message here. And Wanderer's Rest is where we are right now in the Meadows, and yeah, you've just got a nice little message. Hope you enjoy the stream. And then over here, you've got Dakar, and you can get a message from him also. But let's see right here. Look at that. So what's cool is it actually records this into your compendium. And so we're going to be using this for kind of like a little bit of a quest log. So you can see it says NPC Dakar, NPC ninebyte, and it's actually color coded. So when you guys are actually playing the map, you will have certain quests which you pick up in the Meadows town at the very beginning, and they'll be kind of like main quests. You'll also have some side quests you're working on throughout the playthrough, and yeah, so you'll be able to just come right into your compendium where you've got everything else which is normally in Valheim, and you'll have our quests also, so you'll be able to keep referencing that and see kind of the progress you've made. Like, obviously it doesn't update and show you progress, but it's just a nice way to keep track of everything and to know you know, if you've done something, if you haven't yet. When new things are added, you'll be able to, you know, check that. There'll be different colors for different things. But yeah, what do you think, Dakar? Is there anything else kind of we want to talk about?
No, you got it absolutely nailed.
Nice.
Yeah, there are some. We can also do runestones where it doesn't add to your compendium, so we can add just little updates along the route. You go into a room and it gives you a little description of what you might find in the room, but not something you need to keep track of for the whole game. So we have a little bit of versatility and yeah, some fun ideas that we're not fully ready to show off yet, but this is just to give you a taste of what's possible.
Exactly. This is just a little bit of what we're hopefully going to be doing, just kind of a broad idea. And hopefully as we do these developer streams, we'll do probably one every Sunday for the next few weeks, and we'll do a puzzle every Wednesday for the next few weeks. And yeah, each dev stream will try to show you guys more of what we are developing in the world. So yeah, what would be the next thing? Let's see. Short and sweet. Yeah, this time we're probably going to try to keep the stream a little bit shorter. I think we kind of unintentionally streamed for like 4 hours the last time and just like kept talking and answering questions. And we definitely want these to be a little more digestible for people when you come onto the channel and you want to find out more info. So if you have some questions, make sure you're putting them in the chat over the next hour and we will try to definitely answer them. Let's see. So balancing, should we go ahead and just take them to the test location? Maybe?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, let's do that. So what I want to do really quick is I've got to put you guys on a quick image slideshow while I pull up my map, because my map has all sorts of things that are a little bit spoilery.
Top secret.
Yeah, top secret things, exactly. So we've got a little area prepared for you guys this stream where you can see kind of how a location is going to work. Every location, of course, is going to be different, but this is just giving you an idea. We really are trying to make this like a full-on game, like within Valheim, like a real RPG adventure. And you know, I think at first we were kind of staying separate from saying ours was an RPG and the one for Gathalion is an RPG, and like we were kind of saying ours is just a linear playthrough. Honestly, at this point, with everything we've figured out over the last week, this is pretty much an RPG too, with quests. We've got roles for you guys that you're going to choose in the Meadows town. That's going to be cool. And then you're going to see right here, we're going to explain how these locations work, and you'll see that it's really like a real game, kind of like Skyrim or something. You arrive at a cave and you read some notes which kind of hint at certain things being in certain places, and like every location has kind of like some lore. But yeah, before we get into this, I did just want to read the chat really quick. Just saw Asmongold's video about this project. This is insanity. Much love to you after good work. Much appreciated. The car is a bit louder. You know, we tried to get this right.
Yeah, I did turn myself down, so how do I sound now, guys? Am I about the same volume?
Nice. Yeah, let us know if we need to balance audio anymore, and we will change something around. I'm having issues with the stream, keeps trying to buff. I don't know what's happening there. Everything looks good on my end.
Yeah, I can see the stream fairly well. I don't think... Yeah, I don't have a problem.
Yeah, everything seems fine on my end. Hopefully it'll resolve itself soon. So let's see. So is there a paid version that's modded and there's a free version that's not modded? So technically speaking, yes, that's how it's starting off, but very soon there will, well, in a few months, there will also be a free version of the kind of MMO thing that you guys can play with your friends, not on a server by yourselves, like, but that will be in a few months. So yeah, we'll keep you posted on that, and definitely if you want information on that, you'll want to check out Cathalion's Discord, because you'll definitely have the information there for that. But for ours, the next version is completely free, and it should be out beginning of February, and it's completely unmodded. Yeah, there's the other thing is, you know, you'll be able to play it locally, but their mod pack does, you know, it's very custom. So hopefully that mod pack will be able to work completely. It might just work like 90%. I don't know. We're gonna have to see on that. Everything runs smooth. Nice. I stream this hour, although it seems interesting. I hope Valheim gets optimization update before you finish. Yeah, I feel that. Stream this hour. Is it late? 6:42? I don't know. But yeah, let's get into this location. How should we start this off, Dakar? What do you think?
Well, you've never been here before, so
yes, Dakar put this together for us earlier while I was making our little trailer, and yeah, so take us through.
Well, let's like you said, this is a kind of very basic example of a location or how a quest might work. Might not be in a room setup like this. It might be distance between places. You could start in, this could be a city, and you journey off to another place, but we've just arranged it like this for ease of use. So in this first room over here, we have a bit of a loot or items that you come across. So if you come over and mouse over these, you'll see some text on various things.
Aha, yeah, that's one of the things that's pretty cool that we can do, is like name things essentially and kind of give you guys hints as to what these things are and what needs to happen when you arrive in a location.
So you find the handle of a crude axe poking out of the box, and if you were to pick that up,
all right, pick it up, and there you go, you have a flint axe added to your inventory. Nice.
And if you look over here, there are some bronze chest components.
Nice.
That you'll find. If you remove those from the box.
Oh, I see. So we're gonna remove these
Take those,
chest components. Nice.
The box now disappears because you've picked those up.
Cool, cool.
And now we have to find somewhere to craft those. So we journey on, and oh, there was a barrier missing. That's my bad. Let me grab that.
All right.
Whoops. Make sure I'm putting this down with the right settings. There you go. Oh. And now if you were to go up to that, do you have a...
Okay.
Am I still too loud?
That's okay. I think I just adjusted. I went up another 3.9 decibels, so that should be plenty. Let us know if Dakar's still a little bit too loud. We're slowly getting there. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Do you have a stone axe on you? If you don't, I have one here.
There's one. Not, but I'll go ahead and grab that.
There.
Yes.
If you were to try and break that barrier down with a stone axe, you would find it too hard.
Boom. Too hard. So
but if you use your newly acquired flint axe...
Yeah, so if you remember just a second ago, over there we got a flint axe. So you might arrive at a location, you might walk up to a door which says that it is too hard, you swing at it, you can't get through it. You then look around a little more in the location, explore with your friends, kind of have fun, maybe take out some enemies, find some loot, and while you're finding that loot, you find a new axe. So remember, what we're creating is a linear playthrough of Valheim from beginning to end. So you're going to start with nothing on a fresh character in the meadows, and as you go through these locations, we're going to slowly kind of give you everything you need in the entire playthrough of the game. So as you're going through this location, you'll find the tool that you need to then break the doorway. You can see there's actually damage numbers coming up now, and eventually, how much health does this thing have?
That's a good question.
Oh, are you building
Maybe
with
I
infinite
set it
health?
with too much health. I did take it off, but maybe that was my
Okay,
bad.
either way, we can set the health, and so we'll set it to a point where it'll only take a few swings, and it shouldn't be a problem. So then now you are into the next location, where you've got a forge. And remember, before in the other room, it said that there was the ingredients for a bronze something or other. I don't quite remember what it said, but whatever it said, you're now in here, and you've got the idea in your head where you've got, oh, okay, that was for a bronze chest plate, and now you're going to go ahead and put that together, and you can decide amongst your friends who gets that bronze chest plate. So now you've got, essentially, you're going through this location, you've got different miscellaneous loot, but you've now also gotten a piece of armor, you've gotten a tool, different loot, and you're kind of splitting that amongst your friends. You're playing together, having fun, taking out enemies, and just kind of experiencing the location for what it is. Now, obviously, this is really simple, but every location, as you've seen in the video, if you've seen the video, is kind of like completely unique and everything. So, you know, it's going to have its own unique story and lore to it, and kind of like, you know, there'll be a lot kind of that you're kind of taking part in as part of the story. This is the best idea ever. So sick. Nice, thank you.
Let me place this again, because this works now.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I did have infinite health on. You were right.
I was gonna say I was just swinging. Oh yeah, see, there you go. So essentially, you'll know right away if you have the tool that is hard enough to defeat, or not defeat the door, but to open the doorway. And we're going to be doing this throughout the entire game, giving you the next tool, maybe even a location ahead. Maybe we'll just give you the ingredients for that tool, and then you have to figure out that, you know, oh, this was for this, and we'll put it together here. You know, there's a lot of different ways, basically, that we can kind of control how you get into places, and like at what point in the game you are kind of allowed to get into those places. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for putting work into this. Thank you. You are awesome. Sounds sick.
You might come across something like this on your travels as well, which no matter which tool you use, you can't get through it. Well, use the yeah, there you go, too hard. So
too hard. Yep.
You might have to go somewhere specifically to get past this, such as this thing over here, which is just, it's just an example marker. But if you walk right on top of that,
sure, sorry, just 1 second. Okay, walk right on top of that,
and then look behind you, the barrier is gone.
And now the barrier is gone. Nice.
So that's another way we can open access and restrict access for the linear element of the playthrough.
Right, exactly. So something, you might be able to do something somewhere else that then changes something in another place, and that thing that changes, you know, you'll have to go back and check, or you'll have to, like, you know, sometimes it'll just take some exploring. You'll realize it's too hard, there's nothing for tools here, there's something we're missing, you know, there's something here that is going to allow us into this room. This is a linear playthrough, so of course you'll be able to do everything, it's just a matter of figuring it out. And this room right here, by the way, this is supposed to resemble kind of your final loot room, which you'll usually have some type of boss in, which we've got kind of custom enemies that we're working on making, kind of custom bosses. You'll see things like trolls and stuff and think, oh, that's a normal troll, and then you'll get close to it and realize it's got double the health and it does double the damage. But, you know, the fun thing about, should I tell them about statuses and stuff, or should I not tell them about that? I don't know if I should tell them about that. I mean, we're definitely doing it, so.
Yeah. Let's just say that we can give and take away powers from you guys to make you temporarily much stronger or much weaker. So we have some fun encounters planned.
Yes. So, you know, you might remember in a game where you like you walk in and there's like low gravity, for example, or something. Like, we don't have that. But you picture something like that. You arrive in an area and something is out of your control that's happening, and you now suddenly have to deal with that happening to your character. So we're pretty excited to be working on that as well. bosses? Are they going to be as easy in Valheim? Or at least half as interesting as ours? So, yeah, so obviously we can't add, like, you're talking about, like, Dark Souls bosses here. We can't add, like, move sets or new moves and, like, completely overhaul the combat. But what we can do is change certain things, names, have messages. You know, we can control their health, their damage, things like that. Certain things that I can't quite really talk about yet either, but yeah, things will be more difficult overall in general, but you should always be prepared enough. We're trying to have everything where no matter if you're a single person or a 10-man party, you'll be able to get through every location because of either what we've given you already or because there's something in the environment that will help you, you know, etc., etc., you know.
Do you want to fight this troll?
Sure. Yeah.
Get in the ring.
Boss man. Oh, I didn't realize you even had one ready. Okay, nice. What's up, dude? He is definitely aware of my presence. I don't know if I have any arrows. Oh my gosh, you have chosen death. Nice. I like that. Good touch. So yeah, so we've got different messages that you can put in. And, you know, this guy right here, he may, for example, have like double the health or something. Which, it looks like he doesn't. But yeah, there's just a lot of different things that we could do. And I'm in God mode, so I'm just going to swing a little bit, let him do his attacks. So I'm assuming you have something. I will have my revenge. Yes, I figured you had a death message. So a death message is one of the things, for example, we can do. There's like messages as you arrive. So each boss it might not be like a Dark Souls boss, but it'll have a little lore built into it. You know, they'll have something they're saying to you, something they're saying when you defeat them. They will have their own unique loot that goes along with that kind of area. You know, they'll have their own kind of health and damage. There's some type of thing going on in the area, like I mentioned, the gravity thing. So it will make each boss hopefully still feel almost like a Dark Souls type of experience, but not quite. That's better. I can't complain though. Fight in Valheim wasn't very complex or difficult to begin with. Oh, I like the fighting in Valheim. I went to Valheim with no trolls. There's definitely going to be trolls, but they won't be quite the same as you're used to. So let's see. We've got some other things we want to show you guys. I did kind of skip over balancing. We're not 100% sure yet how balancing is going to work. You know, we're still trying to figure it out. Really, if we need to do, we might end up having two versions of the world, one for kind of an easy mode, one for a hard mode. Actually, you know, let me see if I can I do a...
Yeah, it's a tricky thing. We're making our best go of it and trying, but at the end of the day, there's just two of us. So as much as we try and balance it, there's only going to be so much we can account for. But of course, when we do updates and things, we will continue to balance it, move items around, add different amounts of food and potions, etc. And tweak enemies' health and damage and spawn numbers, so we will get there, hopefully.
I am easy and hard mode. I'm making a poll for you guys really quick. Just one map. Focus time on that. So let me know what you guys think in the poll really quick. Let's see. Should we easy mode or hard mode or just focus or time on the main map? The best possible. Nice. How do I do this? Man, I need to watch like some tutorials or something. How can I call myself a YouTuber if I don't even know how to do a poll? Create poll. Do I click that?
For shame.
Add option. Start poll. I don't know. Maybe you could try it really quick and see if you can create a poll, Dakar.
I'll give it a go.
Because this is what happened the other day. I had some stuff that wasn't quite working for me. Here's the prompt I was going to put in. See if you can get that going. I don't know.
Okay.
I have the poll all done, but the start poll option is grayed out. It was the same thing with the pinning the message last time. Is it going to be laggy though if you have like 5-6 parry? No, I don't think that'll be a problem at all. It's not usually a problem in Valheim anyway, and these builds are all optimized to, or not optimized, but what we've done is every area where we have large builds, for example, I could just put it back on the slideshow, and you know, every area that we have large builds in, we've kept the instance count, you know, no, I don't think we go over 16,000. And I actually had somebody the other day that was talking to me that they said even on console they've tested a lot of the locations and they're doing just fine. So that's the thing with this linear map. I can't speak for the RPG MMO version that's on a server, because I know that there are a lot of problems with that currently, like just in regular Valheim, like with lots of people on a server. But I know they're working their hardest, their best to get that going, and I honestly think they're gonna have a really nice product by the end. But I know for our version, the linear RPG kind of curated playthrough of Valheim, definitely lag and instance count. Lag should not be a problem because instance count has been thought about. Good to know it'll be playable. Definitely will be playable for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, it'll be playable for sure. Be happy to lend a hand with any of the groundwork. Thank you, I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. We are currently pretty bogged down with trying to just plan everything, which is definitely a two-man job, but I will let you know. Thank you. I wonder if
I could not get a poll working, unfortunately.
I can't get a poll to work either. Yeah, I don't know. It's like there's a button that you have to click that isn't there. Yeah, so no poll, I guess. But yeah, if you guys think that we should do an easy and hard mode, let me know in the chat right now. That would be really nice to know what you guys think. I personally think it'd be better just for us to put our time into, you know, all into one map and trying to get that right, and we could just do some updates on it later on. But I don't know, it just depends, you know. Maybe everybody wants an easy and a hard mode. We'll have to find out. Let's see.
Did you want to show people some of the roads?
Do just one? That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, you want to show them some roads next? Let's do that. So with the roads, what are we at in the list actually? We've done balancing test location, lower quests. We kind of did, yeah, we kind of did that. You want to skip to that, or you want to do puzzles? You want to talk about puzzles for a minute? Just keep going down the list.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, so puzzles. Now, if you guys are in the Discord, which there is a link in the pinned comment to join my Discord if you'd like to join, then you already know about the puzzles that we've been coming up with. And what I want to show you really quick, this is this week's puzzle. And we had some absolute geniuses in the Odin's Insight text channel, and they figured this out in less than 24 hours. Now, we definitely gave some hints. Next time, we are not going to be giving any hints at all, because it was, I guess it was too easy with the hints. We were very nice.
You're too smart.
Yeah, we just didn't expect everybody to be able to just like figure this out right here. You can check this out. So this trick right here, I thought genuinely was going to take people forever to figure out. And all I did was say look a little harder, and somebody figured it out, which absolute genius, whoever that was. In fact, part of the, so as we do these puzzles, how this is going to work is there's 4 weeks of puzzles gearing up to kind of, or building up kind of to the release of the map. And these puzzles are all going to come together and help you solve the 4th puzzle. And these also kind of have something to do with the adventure map itself, and they will kind of give you a little bit of help on the adventure map. So we're hoping everybody can get involved. You don't even have to say anything, but if you come over to the Discord, you'll at least be able to kind of observe and see what everybody's doing, and you'll be able to see like what they figured out. And you know, if you want to, you can get involved and help out. But you can see for this one, basically what we did is we said only by, you can see in the middle that actually says only by joining together will the answer be revealed. So after they figured that out, they were looking through the picture, they're trying to think, you know, what is this? And somebody basically eventually figured out that you can see on this right picture right here, if you raise the certain levels of brightness in like an app that can do that, then we actually had some hidden words in the border. And we definitely can't tease any of the other puzzles, but I will just say that we've got more tricks that are not this one that are just as good as this one in the puzzles upcoming. So every week, definitely, it'd be great if you want to get involved or just come observe. We've got new stuff on the way, and yeah, it's going to relate back to the map. We just think it's a fun way to kind of be involved and get a little bit of a hint to the map before it comes out. Should we do anything else, Dakar? What do you think?
No, once again, you got it covered.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I was just to echo once again, we were very impressed.
Yeah.
You guys
awesome.
absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, that was actually, my mind was blown when everybody figured that out in like 8 hours. That was really fast. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say on the puzzles. I will say, should we tell them about the main quest yet and stuff, or maybe we should wait on that? Maybe we should.
I think we should wait.
Yeah, let's wait on that. But we've also got almost like puzzles built into the campaign, you could call it, built into the linear playthrough, I will say. And it's going to be part of your main quests and your side quest over in your compendium, which we showed at the beginning if you're just joining the stream. We've got some runestones, some NPCs actually working now, which we're really excited to have. And they'll be in the towns. You can almost kind of talk to them, and they will give you messages which will show up in your compendium so that you can actually keep track of the quests that you're doing. They won't update, you won't be able to like check them off, but it's just a nice unmodded way that we can have a quest log for you guys. And yeah, there will actually be some kind of puzzles within the playthrough that you're working out in these quests, but more on that probably in the next upcoming developer streams, which we are going to be doing every Sunday up until the map comes out, hopefully, and every Wednesday a puzzle will be coming out in the Discord. What are you doing here?
I was just messing with some road painting stuff.
All right, nice.
Nothing too important.
We have been working on some roads, so we're definitely going to show you that in just a minute. Please add an easy mode. I'm too lousy gamer. We'll see. I'm not sure. We've got to get through a lot of stages before we know maybe it'll be easier than we think to do that. Maybe it'll be really difficult. We're not really quite sure. We've gone through the entire game. You know what I forgot to pull up? I'll show you guys something kind of cool. We've gone through the entire, like all the wikis of Valheim, and we've pulled up let's see, Valheim armor. And what we've done is we've pulled up, that's not going to show. Let's do Valheim weapons. So throughout the playthrough, we're trying to create a balanced experience for you guys. And so what we're going to do, hopefully this doesn't play really loud, this ad on the screen. And I just clicked an ad. That's great. Probably just got a virus. Nice. So let me switch you guys over to screen share so that you can see what I am talking about. Okay, yeah, you should be able to see this. So if I scroll down, basically what we've done is we've gone through, you can see we have all the weapons in the game here in order from kind of easy to hard, I guess you could kind of say. And we've done this for the food, we've done this for the weapons, the bows, the shields, the arrows, the bolts, the potions, the bombs, and I think that covers everything. And so every single item that is in the game is in our playthrough, and we've kind of filtered them through the locations so that as you're playing through every single location, like you're kind of starting off and you're getting these guys, these first guys here, you know, the flint stuff. You're starting off with just clubs and torches and stone axes, and you're working your way up, getting better and better and better things as you play through. Why did I bring this up though? I had like an ultimate point that I'm totally drawing a blank on at this point.
Balancing,
yeah. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. I was saying, like, with an easy and hard mode, we're really not sure, you know, because we're working in the balancing like this, you're really only getting maybe one version of each weapon, only a few arrows of each type. There's so much that it's kind of auto-balancing itself, but we're going to see if we need to put in balancing. We'll do some testing, but yeah, you can imagine you have a large party, and that large party, if you give them, you know, if you give a small group 3 carrot soups, that'll go a long way. But if you have a large party where the game is much easier because there's 10 of them, then you give them 3 carrot soups. Well, only a few people can have that buff going in. So you can see how maybe it kind of almost auto balances itself, but we're still probably gonna have to do something. So we'll see, and we'll keep you updated on that, and more soon in the next streams.
Josh asked about the Ashlands update and how it might affect this. Now, because ninebyte can't open his map to demonstrate, I've drawn a completely scientifically accurate map here of the Valheim world.
Nice.
And yeah, I thought you'd recognize it instantly. So the paved section at the bottom we'll say is the Ashlands. When the new Ashlands update comes, the existing Ashlands is essentially going to have almost a river across it, a water barrier like this. So the top half of any existing Ashlands will be shaved off, and only the bottom part will remain. We have no builds anywhere near that zone, so nothing we have on the map should be affected. And anything we want to add into the Ashlands, we kind of already know roughly where we can and can't do stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we're ahead of the game on that a little bit.
Absolutely. So when Ashlands does come out, we'll probably do, you know, a whole Ashlands build type of thing going on there. But then, of course, we can update the whole playthrough also with, you know, hopefully we'll have a pretty active feedback channel. We're hoping you guys can provide us with all sorts of balancing ideas, and, you know, if we've got any locations that need more or need less, or too difficult or too easy, we just, you know, hopefully we can fix that at the same time as we add Ashlands. You saw the puzzle and moved on. I'm dumb. I can't. You can't work out that puzzle. Yeah, I know. Honestly, I was so surprised that everybody figured it out so fast. I really was. But some people know what game theory is. No, I don't know. What does that mean? Do you know what that means, Dakar? Some people know who game theory is. I'm not sure. Any thoughts or concerns about the upcoming Ashlands? This really sounds awesome. Nice. Thank you, Sparrow. There should only be hard mode. Nice.
This is the problem. We're trying to cater to as many people as possible. You know,
Yeah,
this is something we want everyone to be able to experience. But there's people at both ends of the curve. People want
absolutely
everything from super easy to super difficult. So not easy.
Yeah.
Not easy to balance.
It's going to be $100 at this point. I just got a comment about how the expansion for Diablo 4 is going to be $100, and we did all this work and it's free. We've gotten a lot of those since Asmongold's video. This is definitely for free, guys. Nothing here will be paid. If you want to test out the alpha version, it is part of my memberships right now, but that's really only for the super eager people that really want to get in there now and explore. Everything is free. We are only hoping that, and we're extremely thankful that my video did well enough that a lot of people have found out about this, that Asmongold checked it out and everything. So we're honestly just excited that more people are going to get to play this at this point. You know, that's all this is about, is taking our expertise from the last few years of playing Valheim and making videos, and just sharing that with the world in the form of an adventure map that we can all enjoy until Valheim is complete. Are devs going to help you in some way? We've gotten a bunch of questions like that. You know, I highly doubt it, but it would be really cool. You know, it would definitely be super cool. You know, if they contacted us, absolutely. We'd be more than happy to get them involved in any way they wanted to. But I think they are very busy people, and they're probably just working on their own stuff, you know, and so yeah. But I don't know. We'll see.
The devs do also kind of help us behind the scenes as well, not directly. I know, for instance, that some of the mod creators of the mods that we use to build and create these worlds, they're in contact with the devs and they ask them to make just tiny little tweaks. You know, can you please put this in the next update? It will let us do X, Y, and Z. So that kind of stuff filters down to us and is what lets us at the end of the day do some of this more creative stuff, like adding names to things or changing what item gets picked up when you interact with something. So
Exactly.
in subtle ways, the devs are helping us.
Yeah. So what should we show them next? Maybe we've done puzzles now, difficulties we've done, so maybe we show them some roads.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually I
Some
need
of
to...
your hard work.
Yeah, I have been working hard on these roads. So I want to show you guys some of what in the video you might have noticed that the roads they were a bit of a mess. You know, that was definitely alpha version 1 of the world. I basically painted the road texture over the ground and cleared the ground of like trees and stuff, used some lampposts, and made a very basic road for the open world. But now at this point, what I've been doing is really trying to make a road that feels like kind of a fantasy setting road kind of vibe, almost like you're walking around Skyrim or any other type of kind of RPG game. So let me go ahead and pop you guys back over to this view, and you can see that what I've done is actually like we've got some tools that we can work with, and these tools have allowed me to come in and instead of making kind of like 1,000 little adjustments here, I've just been able to make a few adjustments to each thing that kind of slopes the whole road essentially. And you can see we're working on kind of having nice edges so that the road feels like it's kind of like surrounded by nature in a way. You know, I'm trying to make sure that we've got the forest kind of right up to the roads themselves. There's a little location up there that you'll be coming to near the beginning of the game, since I've done mostly just the beginning roads right now, maybe a fourth or a fifth of the roads so far. But you can see they're much flatter now though. They're much more realistic, much more like something that you might actually you know, see in a game or something like that. You can see this is actually one of the locations, one of the first locations you'll see, and that is all I'm going to show you of that. You'll have to wait for future updates to see more of that. But yeah, I mean, there's not much I really wanted to show you guys in the roads. I just wanted you to see that they look a lot better than they looked in that video. And they're just, you know, when you're making YouTube videos, a lot of times you got to think about time, and there's just only so many things that made it into the final cut. So that was one of the things I didn't really get to talk about.
If you want to hop over to me, I've just started texturing some swamp roads, so you can show off a little bit of how that's going to look.
We could. I want to answer just a few questions really quick while I run along the roads so they can still kind of see them. But Midnight, are the devs going to help you in some way? Probably not. I mean, like financially they could help for developing their game in a new way. Nah, I think this is more of just like our own creative work, you know, like based on the awesome game that we love and that we enjoy, and that, you know, it's just our own thing or whatever. But fun idea. Can you guys do a tutorial video on how to name items and how to make items pickable? And yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff you can actually find in Dakar's Discord. I have some simple things, but Dakar's kind of the wizard. So if you want specific help for like high level stuff like that, I would absolutely recommend checking out Dakar's Discord, where he's got a bunch of guides and he's adding more guides all the time, and he can help you with some of that higher level stuff. Also, you have to understand too that like the mods that we're using are being updated very frequently, especially right now. And so those mods like Infinity Hammer, Server Devcommands, World Edit, and the mod Configurator mod to actually control those mods easier which my mod list is in my Discord. In the pinned comment is that your Discord or my Discord?
It's in both, I think.
What's the pinned comment? Is that my Discord or your Discord?
Oh, that's yours. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
That's
So the
yours.
pinned comment, if you join there, you can see my mod list on there, and I've got all those mods. They are all supposed to be used together, and that's how we do a lot of this stuff. So if you guys want to get into this, highly recommend grabbing Infinity Hammer, World Edit, Server Dev, and the mod Configurator mod. And what that's going to do is it's going to get you started. You know, I've got a lot of simple little things, you know, mod setup and everything to get going, and then you start practicing with them, and you'll be able to understand much better when you ask, like, hey, what's the code to you know, make a torch infinitely burn? And you know, if we just sent you that now, it might be a little bit overwhelming. So definitely try those mods out a little bit and see if it's something you want to get into. Heard about your work a few days ago. Super excited to check out your adventure. Nice, thank you. That's so cool. Nice. Are you using some custom modded textures or just vanilla? This is just vanilla. Everything you see is technically vanilla. We're using build mods and mods to like be able to do things. But there's no modded pieces. You know, everything that we're doing is vanilla Valheim, technically speaking, like visually at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the tricks that we're doing, we are actually tricking the game in a lot of ways. Yeah, we're telling the game to make items do certain things or act a certain way that they wouldn't normally do, but maybe something similar to that item works that way. You know, for instance, you can transfer some creature abilities from one creature to another. Like you can make skeletons fly because the creatures, some of them need to be able to fly. It's that kind of thing. So there's nothing we can like add from zero, but there's lots of things that we can tweak and mess around with to create something that wasn't really there before.
Exactly. It's all about using what's in Valheim and kind of taking advantage of the back end of Valheim and just like manipulating things.
Yeah.
Is it normal run speed on the road, or have you changed it when on the roads? If so, how do you do it? No, this is normal run speed. This is just regular run speed. I could do actually I can't do timescale while you're in the world, never mind. But yeah, this is normal run speed. I've passed a few locations though, actually. I think I've passed at least one location. Actually, I don't know. Actually, don't quote me on that. I can't check the map though because I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah. Okay, so did you want me to come over there so you could show them something?
Yeah, sure. Come over to Bone Mass.
Okay. Let me go ahead and put you guys
I think
on
I've done
this. What's up?
I think I've done the whole swamp in that time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. On my way. So let's see. Yeah. Oh, the roads. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So let me back out a little bit, and I'll just run in from all the way out here. From the first skull. So, we've got two versions of the map, of course, like we've said a bunch of times. I hope I'm not repeating things. But our version is a linear curated Valheim playthrough. So you're just playing through the game essentially, and you are, instead of having to like, you know, like mine and stuff, like we're kind of providing you all of the gear and the loot along this path where you're experiencing the lore of these locations and hopefully having a lot of fun. And of course, along this path is all of the current 6 bosses in the game. So what Dakar's done here, if you look down at the road, is he's done some really fancy stuff with texturing. You want to explain that a little bit, or kind of leave it a mystery?
Yeah, if any of you have used a little bit of Infinity Hammer and World Edit, you may have seen in the home menu there's a few variations on the normal paving texture. There's a kind of dark one, a kind of mossy one, a few other things. And one of the new updates that will be coming in the next version of Infinity Hammer that we have been testing out is the ability to combine a bunch of these paints together. And so that's what I've used to texture this entire swamp in the sort of 5 minutes ninebyte was explaining something else. So you can see that we can save a lot of time with a few little clever tricks that we're able to do.
Yeah. So with the roads, at least the texturing part has turned out to be pretty easy. Yeah, and it's
that bit's easy. The slope, yeah, you definitely put a lot of work into getting everything smooth and flat, and
fixing them all up, getting the edges right.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting though, because that's what I'm saying with, like, if you guys want to get involved and learn some of these kind of like different, I don't know, I guess you could say higher level things. You know, these mods are always being updated and things are being added. And a long time ago, I mean, we were using this mod over a year ago, I think, when this wasn't even there. You know, like this wasn't even, I mean, I think, Dakar, you actually invented the paint stuff, right? Or you actually
I didn't invent it. I just added it to the menu.
Right, exactly. So you made it a way for us to be able to easily access it, which I am forever appreciative of. But you know, it's like, if you want to get involved in these mods, it's just a learning curve, just like anything else. And you know, the things that you can already do are insane. It is so cool what you can already do in Valheim, and you have to know that, like, all the time more and more things come out. Like now we've got this painting feature where you can add multiple textures at once to a road, like suddenly creating, you know, a really cool vibe to a road in just a short amount of time. And that's just like one of the, you know, there are a lot of different tools in Infinity Hammer and World Edit and Server Dev. So yeah, definitely recommend trying it out if you are interested. Let's see, roads look nice and cute. Nice. Is the map out? If so, can I play it on console? Yeah, the map is kind of out. Currently only the alpha version is out, and if you really want to play it now, you can. Currently it's locked under my ultimate channel membership just for the time being, because it is just an alpha, so it doesn't have all the extra enemies yet and everything, but it is an open world version that is not linear, so you can just run around to all the locations. You can get my map at world spawn from the cartography table and just explore. But can you play it on console? Yes, if you check the FAQ out in my Discord, link to my Discord in the pinned comment, that will answer your question on how to play this linear unmodded version on console. Love the new roads. Yeah, I know, it's really nice. Let's see. Oh yeah, I linked to Car's Discord there also, because somebody asked. So definitely, guys, if you're curious about this stuff, getting involved, or learning more information on the map, or just learning crazy cool high level stuff, check out Dakar's Discord, because he's doing awesome stuff all the time.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask any questions. You know, everyone's there to help and learn from each other. So
absolutely,
yeah, pop a message in there.
Both Discords. We're always trying to just be helpful, for sure. But yeah, Dakar's a genius. So amazing work from you all. I'm worried about how laggy it's going to be. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier. It's totally not, lag should not be a problem at all for you guys. This is a local unmodded version of Valheim. You're playing it just on your own system. If you want to play with your friends, you know, obviously with Valheim, it's not quite fully optimized yet. It is in early access. So the best way to do it would definitely be to just, you know, play locally, have one of your friends host it and just join there instead of on an actual live server. But if you want to do it on a live server also, you can do it that way too. And all the locations we've built to a point where there aren't too many instances in a particular area, so it shouldn't be super laggy. We've got other methods also, which we talked a little bit more about in the first stream, to keep the lag down. And yeah, so that it really should not be a problem at all. How do custom maps work like this? With map generation mods adding new stuff. Map generation mods.
Probably badly.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. We've done
If
so
you,
much to the map. I don't know.
yeah, if you know your way around that stuff properly, you can probably do some things because right now our things on the map they don't occupy the full space of the map.
No.
So you could definitely segment or restrict the mod generation areas to take account of it. But yeah, that is not something we've taken into account or thought about beyond that, really.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. What else were we going to talk about? So we've got Iroh and Shaman. So I did want to show you guys some examples of some locations. Oh, I better stop flying around really fast and confusing everyone. And I just showed the map. Just a little quick flash of part of the map. Nothing wrong with that. You know, it really doesn't matter if you see the map. I said this in the last stream because I accidentally showed little parts of it. It's really more of just if you know, want to keep things kind of natural and feeling like you've never seen them before, then I wouldn't go back and look at that. But if you really want to, you can. So let's do a display capture for a second. What I want to show you guys really quick is, first of all, let me go ahead and put the image slideshow on. And I'm going to take us over to... So I did a build a long... I don't know, it might have been 2 years ago now on the old YouTube channel where I did Uncle Iroh's Treehouse Tea Shop. Uncle Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender. What a legend. And so we've just been calling it that still. I'm not sure what its actual name is going to be in the lore of the game. Maybe we keep that. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if you want me to keep that. Uncle Iroh is definitely a legend. But what I've done is, for the first version 1 of the map, and for the first video, I don't think any shots of it made it into the first video. But what I do have is some images. So I don't need this image anymore. Don't need this image anymore. Don't need that. Just gonna swap. What was I gonna show him for Uncle Iroh? Oh,
The updated.
I can show him the blueprint.
Ah.
Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is, oh, I actually forgot to get rid of this over here too. I can show him that. It's kind of cool. Okay, so let me get you guys off of the slideshow. All right, so this is a little chunk of the treehouse, which you might have already seen in the past if you saw that video from way back in the day. It's got like the tree going straight up through the middle. It's got the really cool like definite excess of iron beams, but I thought it looked cool. And what I'm gonna do now is show you the difference between kind of what version 1 had in it and what version 2 is going to have. So the only thing, oh yeah, it's Treehouse Iroh. Okay, cool. So you can see this is actually the OG Iroh's treehouse that I made a very long time ago. Let's get you guys to some better lighting. And we'll get it right here. So obviously you can picture that these would all be on a tree. I gotta clear the hammer like this now. And so there's a tree coming up through the staircase on the left, tree right here in the middle, and tree on the right. And that's kind of Uncle Iroh's treehouse. Back in the day, this was before I was using building mods, and so if I wanted to do more kind of modules of these, I would have to rebuild them piece by piece. And that's one of the things that Dakar and I have developed in our kind of like Valheim building skill set, which you've definitely seen in my build videos if you've seen any of them, is that we're able to kind of use these build mods to select certain pieces of builds. And like you can select individual pieces, for example, like I can just grab an individual piece really quick. Or I can grab the entire build with this hammer really quick. You know, these are just different Infinity Hammer features. That is super laggy, so I am going to stop doing that. But yeah, so back in the day, it was harder for me to create things quickly or reuse elements. So if we quickly get rid of this so I don't leave a floating treehouse in the world, and we come down this way, you can imagine, or you can picture, I had one circle building, one square building, and a staircase going up in version 1. And then in version 2 of the world, this is kind of more what the location looks like. Everything's still kind of loading in with all the torches and the banners and such. But basically, I was able to recreate different parts of the build without having to recreate them, you know. And so we've got a lot going on here. We've got all these little guys that have these little bridges connecting them. Actually, I'll just hop into a free fly cam real quick because that'll probably be a little better. There we go. And there's some stuff going on here that we really can't tell you about yet. But I did just want to show you the difference between version 1 and version 2. You know, every location is going to have its own lore, have its own story, and minimum you'll be spending, you know, 10-15 minutes there, hopefully, right? Like that's the goal, and maybe even much longer depending on the location. So yeah, I just thought this was a really good example to kind of explain that. Anything else we should say, or should we take them to Shaman, the better example?
I think we should go to Shaman.
Yeah, Shaman's an even a much better example even. So let me go ahead and pop the old slideshow back on real quick. Well, let's make sure we don't have any comments. Putting stuff together. I'm still learning as well. Hit me up on Discord. Oh, that's a little sketchy. Okay. Amazing work from you all, but I'm worried how lag it's gonna be. We answered that. We're both really helpful whenever he doesn't just say that. Thank you, Ulrich, much appreciated. How do custom maps like this work with map generation mods? We answered that. I'm guessing you'd have to zone out there. Oh, okay, yeah, I can't wait to try this out. I was thinking about names for my new tea shop. How about the Jasmine Dragon? Let's go. It's dramatic, poetic, has a nice ring to it. What a quote. What a quote. You get a gold star for that. To the pine tree. They go up that far without branches. Sick build. Yeah, so these pine trees, am I on? Let me make sure that you can actually see. Before we head out, these pine trees are scaled up. So if I select one of these pine trees really quick, this pine tree you can see in the top left is at 271%. This pine tree is at 392%. So these are all scaled to different sizes of regular pine trees, which you can see here behind them. So that's why you'll notice that these green branches are much higher than the treehouse, and they're not actually in the treehouse, kind of like making it horrible to move around inside of them. But yeah, let me take you guys over to the Shaman really quick. I gotta pull out my map. We could have actually just walked over there on the roads, but nah, I want to give too much away. So Shaman, I want to show you guys a few things. What are you laughing at?
I was laughing at, yeah, I pulled up the map and thought, oh yeah, it's right there.
It's literally right there, yeah, and I'm like doing all this stuff, changing scenes and OBS. Okay, so Shaman, I actually showed you guys Shaman a fair amount in the video, and so what I want to do is actually bring that up so you can see what I'm talking about. So right here in the video, let's see, dismiss. Hopefully we don't get an ad on guest mode. You can see right here, this is a side over on the side of Shaman. And if I go back into Valheim, you can see that's still here over on the side right here. Then if I play a little more, this is the loot room on the left, still the same. And we're going to see some other things real quick. And what I want to do is see right here, this back view. There was nothing in the back. And you can see we've got a little bit here in the middle. And then from this view on the right, that's that same back area where there is absolutely nothing. So what I want to show you guys is that what I have done here with Shaman, just from version 1 to version 2 of the map, is add a bunch of stuff for you guys to enjoy. And I think I'm going to add even more to it too. We got to do some testing through here. Shaman is pretty complicated. The way the pathing works and the enemies, and like there's a lot of little tricks and hidden things and loot. But this whole area here in the back is all brand new. So I just wanted to show you guys this, give you a little bit of sneak peek at some of how these locations work. So yeah, it's just kind of like a whole added area. Shaman is completely sealed off. So once you go in from the very front, you actually follow a path through all the way around to the end, to the final loot room, and you cannot get in any other way except for the front entrance, and you can only get out one way through a one-way exit. And a lot of the locations are like this. So you'll arrive with your group or by yourself, you'll defeat some enemies or something, and you'll kind of, which will be right out here for Shaman, right out in the front as you come down the driveway, and and I don't know why I said driveway right there, but it just felt natural. And then you head around the path and kind of through. I can't really show you the inside yet, but because it'll kind of spoil a lot of it. But this over here is a little side loop, which is kind of like a little side journey that you'll take off and go and try to get loot and defeat more enemies and, you know, just have some fun. Everything's sealed off, so hopefully nobody will be trying to cheese it or something, you know, and go around and just grab loot. You'll actually have to follow the path. And yeah, so it's getting pretty big though. Shaman is getting absolutely massive. I've still got room instance wise though. Like we were talking about, we are trying to make sure that this isn't laggy, that the frame rate stays pretty nice. So I've still got a couple thousand I could add though, so I might add even another path through Shaman. We'll see, but this is just one of those locations that you'll be able to enjoy, grab a bunch of loot for the current part that you are in, like a Valheim playthrough, like kind of the appropriate loot. But yeah, what are you thinking, Dakar? Anything else?
I think you covered it again.
Nice.
Yeah, just amazing work on expanding all the builds even further.
Nice. I think we're gonna go even more with Shaman, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun just kind of freestyling with this one, and just kind of creating like a gross swamp kind of haunted almost setting. Also, by the way, I forgot to show this in the actual swamp vibes. Reset.
Swamp rain.
Yeah, exactly. Which I also forgot to do in the video. So when you're here, you'll be experiencing this in the swamp theme, which is this. So it'll be much darker, and all of the pathways I have worked for you guys on the inside will be much harder to see. It's kind of raining all the time. It's gross. And yeah, you've got these green lights kind of glowing everywhere, and that's kind of like your light on the inside. And yeah, you can even see a torch right there through the hole on the inside. There's loot hidden. There's all sorts of enemies. Hopefully this is going to be a super fun location. I totally forgot to show this with Swamp Rain in the last stream. I'm glad I remembered that. Let's see. Sorry if you already answered this, but can you tell if the server MMO version of the map will be released for use? Yes, it will be released for use in private service. That version will be done in a few months, and then following that, sometime after that, it'll be released for private servers. So I honestly couldn't tell you when that is going to be. I don't think anybody knows yet for that version. But I mean, I don't know, like if you caught the beginning of this stream, this version's almost getting kind of RPG-ish too. It's no longer open world, but you know, we'll have quests, we'll have some kind of NPCs, some kind of quests. So you'll kind of be able to scratch that itch for now, you know, with this, and until that comes out. But when will the map release? In January? Any date? Mid or late January? Very late January, possibly beginning February. At this point, we're doing our best to get it out, but you know, it's just two of us. And so we have quite a lot to do. You know, this whole week we were hoping to get all this stuff built on the map, and we really just had to do a lot more planning than we thought. But now we've got like everything planned out, and from here on out, hopefully it's going to be, everything's kind of be slotting together really quickly, like Lego pieces almost. Wish I could play this on Xbox. You can play it on Xbox. This version will be unmodded, and it will be free for everybody. It'll be out, like I just said, beginning of February most likely. And yeah, you can play it on Xbox. There's a link in the pinned comment. You can join my Discord and check out the FAQ for the 2 different ways that you can play this on console. Great to know, waiting a lot for your curated experience. And then for the MMO version to play with friends. Both of you have done an amazing job. Thank you. Yeah, you can definitely play this with friends too, for sure. You know, that one's just an MMO, right? I think that's something also we didn't really explain well in the past, because it's been a bit confusing to us even. You know, this has been developing very rapidly. But you know, this is still an RPG kind of multiplayer experience. You can play it solo, but you can play it with up to 10 people like any Valheim world, right? It's just a world download, so you can use it on a server, you can upload it to a server, or you can just host it with your friends. You know, it just yeah, so it's just not an MMO. So you know, it's a linear curated experience of a Valheim playthrough. So you go through, you play it through once, and if you want to do it again, you'll just have to reset the map and play it again. And reset the map just means, you know, put the world save back in and restart from 0. Because yeah, on the MMO version, their locations will be resetting on timers like an MMO. Also, do you get a kickback in some sort, just a passion child? Yeah, it's just a passion project, definitely. Dakar and I are we've been talking about doing this for over a year. So yeah, no, this is just for free for the community. We just have fun doing this, and you know, I think it did turn out to be a lot more work than we thought it was gonna be, that's for sure. But
100%.
yeah, like triple probably what we ever thought it was gonna be. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's just no way to even quantify it.
Well,
but
when we first started talking about this, you kind of just wanted to put like a handful of builds that you'd already done together into one map, and that was more or less the idea. And you know, since then things have changed. You know, you've built a lot more things. We found out new techniques. We discovered we can do all of these quests and things. So
yeah,
a lot of things have changed and expanded.
absolutely. It started as nothing. Like just an idea of putting a few things together. But yeah. So seeing the class quests, is there multi-classing? So for the Legends mod, there's 12 classes, and that is for the MMO version, for the modded version. Ours is completely unmodded so that everybody can play. And we won't have those 12 classes, but we still have the 12 locations that are themed after them. And there's more kind of explanation for that in the video that's on my channel. But the cool thing is that recently, in the last week, we've realized that this is a full-on RPG experience in itself, in its own right, because we will have roles for you guys. We will have quests, we will have NPCs, we will have lore. All that will be included in this. It won't quite be as, you know, amazing as Skyrim or something. The NPCs won't be having whole conversations with you. The quests you can't really check off, but you know, like I said earlier, I showed you guys like the compendium. You'll have things that you can get off of runestones that we've customized, and then you can come back here and check your quests and remember what you needed to do and everything. So yeah, for the most part, it will be RPG like. And for classes, we're gonna give you at the very beginning, actually, like we've come up with, I think, 6 or 7 so far roles for your party, or for yourself, or whatever roles that you can split up. You know, if you only have 6 people and there's 10 roles, then each person could take a few roles. It just you know, there will be some kind of role-playing aspect where certain people are taking certain things. You know, we're not giving you like an insane amount of loot. We're only giving you, you know, 1 of each weapon in the game, 1 of each bow in the game. You know, there are some at the beginning we're giving you some extra of, but essentially, yeah, we're giving you 1 of each. So each person in the party needs to have their role decided, and they're going to be waiting on the next level up, probably for like maces or something, or like maybe you're a ranged specialist, and so you're the guy that's waiting on the next bow, or you know, like you know, I don't want to spoil any too much, but yeah, there'll be a bunch of different roles, and so it still will feel RPG-y. Love to have such passionate builder friends. All my buddies are boss rush sweats. Yeah.
I think a lot of us builders probably have very similar stories of starting off in a group of friends, and as everyone completed the game or reached the end of their enjoyment, everyone left, and the builders are the last ones left behind because we have the most to explore in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess the builders, we always like a lot of people will wait for the next update, but we just keep playing, you know, we just keep building and learning mods and, you know, and just having fun, which is what has allowed us to put all this together and create this whole map. What is the up? What up? Facts. You got a facts, Dakar.
Yeah.
Absolute facts.
Tale as old as time. Lonely builders left in their Valheim worlds. Plenty of rooms and beds to stay in, and no one to stay in them.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing we didn't mention. We will have beds in outside of a lot of locations. This is going to be somewhat of a hardcore experience. I mean, it's Valheim, right? But and we're making sure not to give you too much loot too, of course. But we still want you to, you know, we don't want you to somebody to die in the party and then spend 15 minutes running to catch up with everybody, you know, and everybody's just standing there waiting. So outside of a lot of locations like this one in particular, you know, we'll probably have some beds nearby. We're still working exactly on like how that's gonna work, but yeah, we will have beds so that you can set spawn points and things. The art at the end of the day. Yeah, I feel that. So much food. The pain as the group builder.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, if you guys have any questions, please put them in the chat right now, because at this point we've covered everything that we wanted to cover on this stream, and we didn't want to go too long. Last stream we ended up going like 4 hours, and I think you know, for people that want to come back later and learn a lot, I think it's a lot to take in. So yeah, if we've got some final questions, we could end it with a little bit of a Q&A. And yeah, and of course, yeah, and remember, we've got puzzles coming out every Wednesday for 4 weeks straight. We already done one puzzle, but now the next one will be out next Wednesday, or this upcoming Wednesday, and we're gonna do a stream hopefully every Sunday, another dev stream 2, 3, 4, updating you guys on the development, on new stuff, updating you guys on the puzzles, the last week's puzzle, and maybe we'll even shout out some names for people involved in the puzzle. We were talking about that today or recently, but we just didn't get around to it. So yeah, maybe we'll shout out some names. Come on over to the Discord, get involved if you want. I think I missed, when will it be available to play? Beginning of February into January. Yeah, most likely. We're hoping, I mean, you know, obviously we'd love the sooner the better, right? Hopefully January. That's the goal. But, you know, as we've continued to move forward with this, it's just more and more and more things have piled up. But I think we've got a really good grasp on everything at this point, and we've got a really solid plan, and everything's going to go really quickly from here on out.
The longer it takes, the better it'll get.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all we can say.
That's the thing. We want it to be out sooner, but the longer we spend on it, you know, obviously the more time we can put in, and we can make it a better experience for everybody. Whether it be boating or just roads and bridges. There are roads, there are bridges, and there are, I believe, actually I don't want to say how many there are, but yes, there are multiple boat stretches and multiple things that will happen in the water. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
What kind of mods do you guys use for building in general? I know Hammer Time, but what others do you use? We use Infinity Hammer, Server Dev, and World Edit. They all go together. I have a mod list in my Discord, pinned comment. If you want to join the Discord, you can check out that mod list. We also use the mod configurator mod. Yeah, links for all of them are in my Discord also. Mod configurator helps you control all those mods better. And then Dakar uses Gizmo and structure tweaks also, which there are also links for that in my Discord if you want to try that out. There's also item stand all items, which link for that also. And yeah, that's kind of all the basic ones. Any other ones that you would recommend?
No, that's pretty much all of it. Render
Yeah.
limits, maybe.
Maybe render limits.
Render limits lets you change your graphics settings both above and below what is currently in the graphics settings menu by default. So
Mhm.
you can load in your massive builds, or you can keep them unloaded in case they're too laggy.
Mm-hmm. Anything we as a community can do to help? No, honestly, just you guys hanging out and just being part of the streams and, you know, being in the Discord and solving the puzzles and, you know, just makes us know that it's worth it to be putting all this together and, you know, just, yeah, just being around. That's all we care about. We just wanted people to have fun and be able to, you know, we knew we could do this. We just didn't know if it was worth it. And now that my video did well and Asmund saw it, it's just like it's been really great that to know that a lot of people are going to get to enjoy this. And so yeah, we just thank you for being here. That's all we need from you guys.
Yes, well put.
What kind of mods use? We got that. Yeah, this is a little bit of a Q&A at the end of the stream if you're coming in now. So let us know if you have any questions on the adventure map and we will try to answer. Is there a Patreon or something? I do have an ultimate membership tier which you can join and play on the alpha version of the open world before anything happens. Like right now, like you can play on it. You know, you can tip videos, but you know, other than that, no, we don't have like a buy me a coffee or something like that. But yeah, have we gotten any attention from Valheim devs? We have not. We've been getting that question a lot. Like it's kind of crazy how much people have asked us that. No devs or anything. It'd be cool. I mean, you know, but no. When can we play Estimation? February, end of January, beginning of February. Semi-related question: what's the most complex build you guys have on this map, or rather, what would you consider the most complex build? I have no idea.
It depends. Yeah, it depends how you look at complex.
Agreed. Yeah.
Like in some ways it would be Metavoker, but in other ways that's a very simple build from
Yeah,
you know,
from a build standpoint.
perspective.
But
Yeah.
from a technical standpoint, yeah. There's really no way to know. It depends on what your kind of criteria would be. Time put in, that's a good question. Maybe it would be
Yeah.
like on time put in. I feel like it'd be
Yeah.
between Duelist and this, to be honest, but I don't know, you know. I have no idea. I actually don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think honestly we've spent like an equal amount of, you know, love and effort into every location is really the best answer. Because you know, and by the end of it, every location itself will have days spent on it, you know. So yeah.
Complex is in the one that made you think outside the box to make it work.
Oh, for me it'd be this
I mean,
one,
like that.
but
yeah,
because I had a lot of fun
was a cool
designing
one.
this. Yeah, because this is like this is an absolute maze on the inside, and I can't spoil anything and show you that, but and I'm gonna expand this even further, I think. And there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of little hidden things. There's only kind of one path through. There's little areas you have to go through and then come back. Like it's a little bit confusing at certain points. There's a final loot room. There's a lot going on here, but you know, like I said though, we've spent a lot of time doing all these though. So I don't know. What about you? What do you think for you?
I definitely agree with what you said, that by the end of it, every build will be like very complex. Some of it not extremely obvious. For instance, like all of the quests and lore and stuff is pretty complicated to do and has been figured out by people cleverer than I am, you know, in some cases. So it's it's a lot of brains put together behind the scenes that are making some of this work, and not just us two. But in terms of like which build, I mean, Metavoker itself definitely comes to mind, because that does have quite a few tricks.
The problem is we haven't even shown them Metavoker. They've never even seen
it. No, exactly.
And we
but we don't want to.
Yeah, we have to keep it that way. There's a lot of really cool tech in that one. So
I'm trying to think outside. I mean, there's some.
We've used dungeons too. That's all I can really say.
Yeah.
There, you know.
There are some things where it doesn't feel like we've done that much complex, but if you were to try and do what we did by hand, it would be extremely complex. But we
Yeah.
have like a clever trick to do it or something like that. So yeah, that is a really hard one to answer, but fun to think about.
Agreed. Just want to say thanks to you and D for putting in all this work. I don't know if this stuff is your 9 to 5, but it would be dope if we could get you to that point if it's something you want. Yeah, that's a tricky question. But yeah, I appreciate that sentiment, and we are definitely trying to get to that point. Absolutely. Complex as in the one that made you think outside. Oh, you answered that. Nice. Anxious to see the finished version. I will definitely be playing this. Nice. Much appreciated. And we are just as excited to see the finished version. So excited for this. Are there going to be little houses or such scattered throughout the biomes? Yes, there will definitely be little things scattered all over the place. More than the towns you mentioned before. Yes, absolutely. There will be things absolutely everywhere. The roads are very long. I was trying to calculate it today how long the roads are, and there's really just no way to even. It would be a very yeah, it'd be a very rough estimation. I mean, it's thousands of
boring
meters.
job.
It's kilometers, but I don't know how far it is. But along those, we have like what is it, like 37 locations or something, and then in between that we are working on I don't want to say that. I mean, we're working on dungeons and caves, and we're working on we'll have little things here and there that are worth stopping by. If you can if it's within sight of the road, if there's a little trail to it, everything is going to hopefully be intuitively kind of recognizable, kind of like, oh, I should do this. Oh, that's something that they wanted us to do. It should hopefully be like that. There shouldn't be anything in the world that's like, are we supposed to go here or not? So hopefully you'll have all sorts of little things that you're like, oh, this is another one of those, like, oh, we'll stop here. Oh, look, there's that. So yeah, that kind of comes back to the side quests too. We have side quests that are going to be encouraging you to look each and every place everywhere, but more on that in the following streams.
I've been working on something today, in fact, where the entire thing itself is a side quest, and within that there are smaller side quests. So
exactly, which is like lore.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's not
things that the boss rush sweats would miss.
Exactly,
as we said earlier.
It really is more of like a playthrough, like a game, like where you're enjoying, like if you've played Skyrim ever, or if you've played any open world RPG, it's gonna play like an open world RPG, but it is a linear experience. So yeah, there's a question there saying, so it's not open world. The alpha version, if you want to become an ultimate member, you can grab that now. That is open world. That was made so that from there we could make our linear version, and Gothalion and them could make their MMO version. And so if you want an open world with all the roads like snaking around and connecting, that one has that. But this will be linear, but it will feel, hopefully, like a very fun setting with all sorts of things to interact with along the way, and little stories and things. And we're hoping that you don't just run through these locations. We're hoping that we give you enough reason and enough backstory on every location to actually want to spend time there, check every crevice, and get every piece of loot. You'll be competing with your friends doing some things, which I'm not going to mention yet, but you'll be seeing things that hopefully you want to explore. You'll be reading a little bit of lore that's like, oh, now we got to go find out what happened to this. And yeah, so I'm rambling, but do you ever stop building something because you get new amazing idea or inspiration? I mean, I guess so, but I think
yes.
Yeah, but it's like most of the time we finish what we're working on. But yeah, I think
Speak for yourself.
we have written down a lot of different ideas though, and like capitalized on them later on. I would say I guess my way is just writing it down and coming back to it. But yeah. Pretty good PC.
Someone asked how big the world file is. I think it's about 115 megs at the moment.
Yeah, it's getting a little bigger. Bigger, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem though. But yeah,
Once we get rid of all the test area stuff, it will
that should
shrink
help.
a lot as well.
Yeah, we have like basically every build I've ever done, and a lot of what Dakar's done on the side of the world right now, which we've used for inspiration and we've modified, which I talked about in the main video. And yeah, so that is definitely adding some to this world. Make sure my resolution is right. Would you say you need a pretty good PC to run this? I mean, a decent PC will run it just fine. We've done a good job, I think, trying to make sure that we don't go over the limits. You can see here we're at 11,000 instances on this area. I am going to build more here, but most of the areas don't go over 15,000 instances. You can see how he's flying around just fine. You can see, you know, everything is fine. You can see my, you should be able to see my, well, you can't see my frames in the top right unless I do this. Let's see.
And I'm connecting from across the world with bad internet as well. So we are doing our own mini kind of stress test all the time.
Yeah. So you can see the frames in the top right, anywhere between like high 30s, high 40s kind of range. Looking like trying to look straight to the center of everything. So hopefully everything will be just fine. Oh, I may or may not have even. Here, wait, let's do that again. Alright, sorry, I still had Valheim checked. But you can see on the top right my FPS. So 40s. Every once in a while you might dip to 30s, but yeah. I think most of the locations, well, all the locations should be fine.
In fact, the location we've had the biggest problem with is probably one of the lowest instances. And
Yeah.
I'm now like completely rebuilding it to get rid of the problems. So
Yeah. So we're making sure that we're paying attention to each location and making sure that they are working properly and we're not using any particular piece that's causing problems or anything like that. Oh, there goes my camera. You guys ever consider making a path to a particular part of the edge of the world and making a massive serpent build out of the abyss just to mess with players? No, but that would actually be hilarious. With a 2080 Ti, I think I'm fine. Yeah, you should be good. And that's streaming too. Yeah, and yeah, you have to consider too, I'm also streaming right now, and I have like a bunch of Chrome stuff open and like things that I was showing throughout the stream, screenshots, like everything. But yeah, I think that's, yeah, I don't want the stream to be too long. I'm actually really enjoying showing everybody everything and answering questions though. So what specs do I have though? I have a 2080 Super, so I don't know if that like helps you at all. It's a decent system, yeah. But yeah, I think we should probably end it here.
yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say to them, or?
No, not really. Should we just go back to Meadows and end there?
Sure.
Be quite nice.
Go ahead and take you guys off of here so I don't spoil the map, and we'll head over to Meadows.
I am working on my video, but I'm also prioritizing working on the map too to try and get more of that done, and also so that I can put some of those things in the video and not just show my builds and repeat what ninebyte has said in his, really. So bring you something a bit new and interesting.
Yeah, so
yeah,
Dakar is going to be coming out with a video before we finish this map, so I'm going to go ahead and put his YouTube channel in the chat. Definitely go check him out, sub to him if you want, and you'll be able to see the next update, which is kind of functioning, as he just said, like a part 2 to my video, and it'll hopefully show you all new stuff, his point of view, his wizardry that he does when he plays Valheim. He knows quite a lot about this game, so he's got a few things on there that might just blow your mind if you've never visited his channel. So yeah, hopefully I'll have a video too, but that won't be until the map is out. So the next thing you'll see is puzzles on Wednesdays, streams on Sundays, and Dakar's video coming out on his YouTube channel. And yeah, we talked about some really cool stuff at the beginning of this stream that we showed inside of the tavern up there inside of the inn, and we took you guys to the edge of the world and showed how locations really work. So if you want to see that, the replay will be up in just a second, and you can rewatch the beginning of the stream. Absolutely love your work. A big thank you from both of us for that. I think that was to both of us. So thank you everybody for tuning in today. And if you need anything, hop into the Discord. I've got my Discord in the pinned comment. You can join Dakar's Discord from my Discord, and we'll answer any questions. But yeah, Puzzle Wednesday, stream next Sunday. Thank you guys for hanging out.
Thanks, guys. Catch you soon.
Bye.